Hey everyone, so I'm going to be teaching you how to make this woman's wallet, as you can see. So it's a woven woman's wallet, and it has two billfolds. It's just my basic design for a woman's wallet. So you have three pockets, so you have a total of 9 pockets, and a little pocket here to hide like your ID and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what you need to make this. So for this project, you're going to need 2 different types of duct tape if you want it to be woven, or you can just use one color and weave one color because that looks cool too. You're going to need an X-Acto knife or some scissors. I use both, but you don't really need both. You can either use one or the other. A cutting mat or a ruler. So I got this cutting mat from Walmart, and then it's nice to have a straight edge like this on this ruler. So those are the supplies that you'll be needing for this project. Okay, so first up I'm just going to start off with making the normal base that I do for a woman's wallet. So what I'm doing, I'm cutting out 4 pieces of 8-inch pieces of tape and lining them up to be 3 inches each. So these are going to create the 2 billfolds. So it's 8 by 3, which I was trying to say. And sorry, I'm a little sick, so sorry if my voice sounds weird. So next up I'm going to do the pockets. I'm going to have 9 pockets. So all I'm doing is I'm cutting out pieces of tape that are 3 3/4 inches each and putting them on top of each other. So for this, I think I used a total of 18 pieces of tape that were 3 3/4 inches each. And now I'm making the hidden pocket, so I'm taking 2 3 3/4 inches pieces of tape and making it 2.5 inches wide. And now I'm just taking a 2.5 inch piece of tape and trimming it. So for the trim, I'm taking 4-inch pieces of tape and making a 1/4 inch trim on each of my pockets. And whenever you do trim, make sure your trim tape is slightly larger than what you're trimming. It makes it so much easier. That's why I use 4 inches instead of 3 3/4 inches. And now I'm just cutting off the extra scraps that were on my pockets. So this is just what I basically do for every wallet. So that's why I'm not doing in-depth instructions. But if you want in-depth instructions, you can look up on my page how to make a woman's wallet. And here I'm just taking pieces of tape that are around 3 to 3 3/4 inches. I'm not really measuring, just enough to cover up most of the wallet. And I'm just lining it up on my wallet, just making sure that everything's even. And I'm making sure the pockets are even with each other when it goes across. And I just took a 3-inch piece of tape and cut it and put it down to hold on the pockets. And then there is the little hidden pocket type thing. So I'm just taping that on. And it was a little too big, so I cut off a piece of it. And now I'm just doing the card pockets like I did with the other side. So it's just all really basic. And I'll do an in-depth tutorial on how to make a woman's wallet again, a newer one, because my older one is a little outdated. So now I have my inside pieces done, the 2 billfolds, I'm going to be cutting 8 pieces of 8-inch tape, and this is for the weave. So I'm folding these pieces in half, and they're 8 inches each. So I take all of them and just fold them all in half, which creates a 1-inch piece, and you can start weaving from here, but I'm going to cut it in half to make half-inch pieces because I like the way that looks. And it makes it easier because I need my whole sheet to be 7.5 inches by 8 inches. So I'm not going to be using one of the pieces of zebra. And I'm doing the same thing with the pink. I'm just cutting 8 8-inch pieces of tape and folding it in half. And Cheddar is snoring right now, so sorry if you can hear that. He's a very loud snorer. and then I'm just cutting these in half, and I'll be using all of these pieces because I want the pink to be 8 inches, and the zebra, I'm going to line it up as 7.5, but it really doesn't matter because it'll look exactly the same either way. So I just took a piece of 8-inch tape, cut it in half, and now I'm lining up my zebra pieces to make a 7.5 sheet of all of them. And you should use all of them but one to do this. And then I'm making sure that everything's nice and even, just flipping one over if they stay down better. And I'm putting this as evenly as I can, the tape on top of it. So now I'm just weaving like I normally do. You just pick up every other strand, and then the ones that you didn't pick up the first time, you pick up those the next time. So I'll definitely also make an in-depth tutorial on how to weave. And this, when I was making this, it reminded me of when I was a kid. Like, I know in kindergarten we used to do this, and we made like placemats. So I thought that'd be a really cool idea if you want to do this on a larger scale and make a placemat, like a duct tape placemat, because that'd be easy to wipe down. So I just thought that'd be cool, and you could like cover it in clear tape. So if any of you guys do that, that would be awesome. So a lot of people wonder like how long do these things take me? For weaving, it takes about 1 minute per strand on this big of a project because I try and scoot it down as tight as possible. As you can see I'm doing here, I'm just scooting all the pieces down. So with this, it was a lot of pieces, so this whole sheet took about 10 to 15 minutes to do. But it's really not that bad, and it's really easy, so it wasn't like tedious work. So when you come to the end up here, you're going to put it under. It helps if you do just one at a time, like lifting up one at a time. And my camera ran out of space, so you can't see me doing the last piece, but yeah. And then I'm taking the other piece and I put it on top to secure it down just like I did the bottom. Taking my X-Acto knife and cutting off the random shreds. You just want to cut along the zebra line that you did. And then I'm taking a piece of tape, I believe it was 8 inches, and you're going to just cover it up, cut it in half, just like you did the front. And I'm taking that other half piece and putting it on. And now I'm going to fold over all these pieces, and I'm using my cutting mat to make sure my lines are straight. So now I picked what side I want to be my inside. I'm cutting an 8-inch piece of tape, and I'm going to use my straight edge to cut it in half so that's really even. And I'm going to follow along the line that I made, place my piece down, and then just fold it over. So you do the same thing with the other side, making sure that they're even, and then just folding and cutting where I need to. And now I'm measuring that side. It's about 7.5, but you want to measure just in case so that it covers all of it. And I'm doing the exact same things, just cutting it in half and then placing it on. Alright everyone, so here's the finished project, and it looks really cool. This is what it looks like when it's folded, and it can be used either way. Probably more likely this way because of like how we read books and stuff. It's like this. So each card pocket fits really nicely. As you can see, it doesn't show over or anything. So all of them fit nicely. And then 1, 2, 3. And again, none of the top ones show over, so it's going to fold really easily. And all these fit, as you can see. And then it has this pocket right here to hold your ID and stuff. And then we have 2 billfolds. And it's pink and woven, and then the other one's the same thing. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. So that's it. Bye. And you can also buy this wallet at cheddarscloset.com.